Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal. This is the follow-up video from our other video about the 5 things. And I'm not going to restart it, even though that was kind
The
of a...
five things. The five
So
things. This is a 5 star.
this is the 5 things. We're going to try to find a good title for this video so you'll click on it.
Probably
So
something like, like 5 star. 5 star to reprogram your life.
how about to completely heal yourself?
It really is. You
Yeah.
guys, this is the basis of all. When I look at the hierarchy of health, or the holistic hierarchy, really the number one thing is I'm gonna teach you guys these things right now. At the top of the hierarchy is you, right? And then you go into like frequency type medicine. Then you go into like, this is mine, like tinctures and herbal medicine. And then you go into like nutritional supplements, vitamins, those type of things. Then you get into like essential oils. Then you keep going down, 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 and then you get into things like drugs. Okay, so not really at the top of holistic or holism. So let's talk about us. So by the time, okay, so what's really interesting is as you're growing and developing, you are being programmed. So like a little child from 0 to 2 years old, they're basically in a delta brainwave. Okay, then from about 2 to 6, you go into more of like a theta brainwave. These are both unconscious or subconscious type brainwaves. All right, and that's where all the programming happens. What's crazy about that though, that programming is these are the hardware program that you're going to use for the rest of your life. So people will say, well, I want to change my life, but they will actually try to be conscious. And your conscious brain it's not your programs. So when you go to change your life and you're trying to work on the programs, you're doing it all wrong. In order to actually change your life, you have to work on the programs that you receive from about, sorry, not 6, I would say more 0 to 7 years old. And then 8, you go into like an alpha where you're kind of a little bit conscious, and then by about 12 years old, then you're looking at like beta waves where you're fully conscious, fully aware in the classroom. Okay, so this 0 to about 7 years, 8 years old, these are all the programs that you get from your parents.
Yep.
All right, that you
Yep.
get from society,
Your full
that you get from
environment.
church, your full environment,
TV, the
TV,
music, whatever you hear from your
all this.
grandparents. Yeah.
So really a quick plug on that. If you are a parent, if you are a grandparent, if you're an aunt, uncle, like bless your children with love, instill with them genius and greatness and awesomeness. And that, I mean, that's what I do with my kids. Sometimes I'll have them sit down and I'll look right in their eyes and I'll tell them who I see in them. And they know that they're amazing. And sometimes I kind of crack up because I'll be like, you can't say that in public, right? You can't. They're
Why
like,
can't they say that in
oh,
public?
because it's like they fool. I'm like, I am the best. But I'm like, wait, slow down. Like, you gotta, it
Keep
becomes
that in the
very
family
boastful.
circle. Yeah.
Becomes very
Oh,
boastful.
well, there's that.
Right. So, but the point of this, you guys, is you have to change the programs. And most of us, when we have positive thinking, all you're working on is conscious brain. You're positive. Okay. Um, think about it like this really quickly. To understand how powerful the subconscious or less than conscious brain is, um, if you're driving and let's say you're a little bit drowsy, all right, you're driving along. Have you ever driven when you're a little bit drowsy?
Absolutely.
And I hate it. I just learned to pull over. But your subconscious mind is so powerful that it will actually put you to sleep at the wheel. Think about that. It's your conscious brain is saying, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake, drink. Sometimes your subconscious though is so powerful. It says, no, no, no.
You're super tired. You need
You're
to go to
super
sleep.
It can't reason, and it just says, tired, go to sleep. Hungry, eat. Heartbeat, keep going. And what I'm saying is it's so powerful, it will actually override your conscious brain and put you to sleep at the wheel, and you can die.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is.
Yeah.
Or we could be driving somewhere. You and I could be driving. Let's say we're going to go and take a hike. We'll be chatting because we haven't seen each other for 3 months, chatting, chatting, chatting. We get up there to the mountains, and we're kind of like,
We don't remember
I'm
getting
like,
there. Yeah.
how did we get here? Right?
Right. That's your
Because
subconscious program.
those are the programs. So how do you change those? All right, here we go. The 5 superstars to change them. I'll give them an order. Now, number 1, I would actually put as energy psychology, and I'll explain that. But I'll put number one is I gave it in another video, and I'll list it here again. Being completely present. If you didn't see that other video, I'll talk about it. The best way to explain that would be like your wedding day. Do you remember your wedding day?
Every detail.
Every single detail. Why? What? Tell me what happened on that wedding day. What did you guys just like
Well,
decide we're gonna get married?
Well, it was the same thing when you described yours. It was like everything was about us.
Maybe nobody watched that though. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
well,
they probably
and
didn't.
well, the thing is too, there was just so much preparation,
Preparation, good.
and there was so much love surrounding us and support.
Massive amounts of love, which is
Right.
and energy. So
Right.
love, energy.
Right.
And was there any emotion?
There
Did
was
you feel
so much emotion.
tons of
It's like
emotion?
my boys. So I had two weddings. My boys are for my first wedding.
Uh-huh.
So my second wedding, my boys were teenagers,
Mm.
and they walked me down the aisle
Wow.
as a 16 and 17-year-old,
Wow.
and it was very emotional because it was like
So much love.
my dad had just passed,
Mm.
and so my boys walked me down the aisle, and it was the emotion was.
She can feel it right now.
I can actually.
She's
I
actually
have
just
goosebumps.
like, whoa! Like I just felt like, wow.
So that's such a good analogy.
That is present. That is
Yeah.
being in the moment. I mean, it is such an example because as she talks about that, she just felt love all again. It's almost like this blanket of love just
True.
surrounded her, and I could feel it. I'm like, as she's saying that, I'm like, oh, I was there. Like she just told me that. But that is how we can program the subconscious mind.
Oh, I love that.
She just erased. She said she was married before. Guess what she just did? She reprogrammed what marriage looks like. And you're still married, just celebrated 20 years.
Yeah.
But her first marriage, it didn't work out. Now, she just reprogrammed. And she now says, okay, things can be okay. And I can be married. And I can make this a happy adventure. And my boys still love me. Even though that this guy isn't their dad. You guys see that? She reprogrammed.
And it
'Cause
all
there's-
centered around love too.
It was.
The whole thing.
And everyone was there for you. And there was massive preparation. There was massive energy and tons of emotion. And she reprogrammed those files.
Well, you know, and I did something really different than most people don't do.
What's that?
I involved my boy's dad because that's how much
Great.
love there was.
Great.
Because it wasn't like, and I know that's not normal, but
Oh,
I'm
if
so
it works
grateful
for
that it
you.
was normal for us because
Yeah,
he'll always be a part of my life because
Sure.
he's the father of my kids, and he's not.
absolutely.
And there's a whole story behind that, but you're totally right. Like literally, my body got goosebumps as I was describing that day.
That
Okay,
is
that's good.
that is being present. Now you
That's
know what
good.
I'm talking about.
Okay, that's
Being-
number one.
So to preparation, energy, emotion, love, focus. That's number one. Number two is what is called American energy psychology. The American Psychological Association recognizes this. And the best technique that I know of, because I invented it, is called emotional stress release. We actually use muscle testing to be able to find out the programs that are running your life in your subconscious, and then we allow you to change or create space so that you can change. All right? Phenomenal. All right? I'm not going to go deeply into that. Number three is meditation. Yes, meditation, you guys. The type of meditation I recommend, and you guys are like, oh, I can't do meditation. Well, of course you can. Meditation is like a practice. You actually have to practice it. When people say they can't meditate, those are the classic people that overthink everything, constantly overthinking, and they're driving those thoughts deep into their soul. It's tough.
You want me to
Yes.
tell you how I meditate?
Yeah.
I let my mind stay busy. I just
There you
sit
go.
in a quiet space. I disconnect from my technology. I don't even bring a
Great.
book.
Great.
Sometimes I'll have my journal there if I get an epiphany about something, but quieting my mind is almost impossible.
Ooh,
so-
this would be good for you then. The
So,
reason.
so that's what I do when my meditation is sometimes when I'm hiking
Oh yes.
because
right.
I put my cell phone on airplane mode because sometimes I want to take
Smart.
pictures, but I don't listen to music. And I actually really love it when I hike by myself because I'm in nature and I'm filling myself up with, and it's as quiet as I can be, but to
Excellent.
completely turn my mind off. So if you say that you can't meditate, it is because you're telling yourself, first of all, you can't meditate.
Right.
Then what you just said is becoming true for you.
Right.
So find your way to meditate, get quiet.
Absolutely. Get quiet is another
Yeah.
way. And I will challenge you guys, if you can do this, is to actually start to learn how to quiet your mind and be able. One of the greatest, what would I say, not monkey wrench, but the something that will. It's distraction. one of the
Oh, yeah.
greatest illnesses of our time is actually distraction, because you need to be able to focus. All right, so meditate. If you can't even just focus on your breathing and just focus on that for 3 minutes. Start out 3 minutes and just see where your mind goes, and then just gently bring it back. See where it goes, gently bring it back. All right. And one thing I like to, you breathe in, you breathe out, and then you say release. Okay, emotional stress release, but this is just with meditation. The next one, you guys, is hypnosis. All right, hypnosis is phenomenal, or guided meditation. So either or, hypnosis, or I like guided meditation as well, where somebody actually talks and helps you go through. Again, all these things are going to lower your brain waves, not lower, but take you down into more of a like an alpha, or even possibly into a theta type brainwave, which means you're more susceptible to greatness, right? And changing the programs, remember?
Yeah.
And then the last
Let
one,
me
yes,
say
please.
really
Yes,
quick,
please.
because I've seen a hypnotist twice.
Yeah.
Because the first time was when I wanted to stop an addiction to sugar.
Smart.
And I knew that I needed to change the programs.
Yeah.
And I knew that it needed to happen on a subconscious level, because I could use as much willpower as I wanted for as long as it would last.
Yeah.
But then my program is I love the taste of sugar, and I love brownies and homemade cookies and
Sure.
cake and
Lovely.
and so the very first time, and this is what happened to me, and I'll
Okay.
say this really quick. So when I went, and this was probably more than 20 years ago, I went and saw a hypnotherapist to stop
Nice.
eating sugar, and my brain was like, this is all ridiculous. The whole time I'm like, I'm not hypnotized, I'm awake still, and whatever. And then I remember every word he said.
Sure.
And then I went home, and he's like, usually 2 or 3 sessions are good to really cement those new patterns. And I'm like, yeah. And I never made an appointment. I never went back. But then I stopped eating sugar. Like I was convinced that it was BS. Isn't that funny? And,
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
funny.
So, and then
That's
the
great.
second time was actually more recent than 20 years. But I knew going in that my subconscious, first of all, I think we fight we fight losing our programs.
Of course we do.
Because they're our
They're
comfort
safe.
zone.
They're comfort.
Safe, and
They've
they're
allowed us to
comfortable.
live to this point.
They are. They're
Seriously,
keeping
they kept
us
us alive,
Right.
so they work to keep us
Right.
alive.
So it's the programs that harm us and don't hurt and don't help us, that were given to us by someone else.
Right.
That's the problem. It's not the subconscious beating of your heart.
Well, see,
You know what I
and that's
mean?
the crazy thing is when you look at that, you have a teenager, and they go into teenage years, and the biggest thing with teenagers, why they start fighting back to parents, is because they're trying to actually create their own programs now and their own lives, and they're trying to choose against the faulty programs. Like, these are stupid. Why did you give these to me? I hate these. I want my own life. I don't like you. And it's like, no, you love your parents. You hate their programs. And they got passed from their parents.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
not
That's
like
true.
teenagers actually hate their parents. They hate their programs. They just hate the hardware. They hate the baggage that they gave them. They don't hate their parents. So if any teenagers you watch.
Wow. Or parents who need to realize that it's not about
the teenager hating you. And even for you people like your terrible twos, why is it terrible twos? Because they're starting to be able to express. They're still be up to about 2 years old. They're in the state of it's like they're behind this glass window watching everything, smelling that that can pass through, all seeing out of these things, but they can't see. They start being able to say something, and they go into a different brainwave, and they're actually starting to be able to express. All right. Anyways, so number 5.
So this
Oh,
is
go
why
ahead.
I love hypnotherapy.
Oh, yes,
Only
please.
because to me, this is like if you have a really gifted, talented person who does clinical hypnotherapy,
Oh, yeah.
who you go in for a specific, I know I need to change this, but I can't do this on my own, because I know where I'm living is, when I try to be conscious, my subconscious programs take over.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really powerful. Even Bruce Lipton talks about this in his whole biology of belief and changing our patterns. He talks about how game-changing hypnotherapy can be. So I love that that's in there, which doesn't surprise me. So what's number 5? I'll let you get to that.
No, you're okay. And then the next one is this, you guys, is right when you wake up and then right when you're about to go to sleep. So think about it like this. Melatonin is the the hormone that allows us to go to sleep. Serotonin is what helps us wake up. So right as you're waking up, you can program things, okay? Or right as you're going to sleep, and sometimes people are about to go to sleep and then they're kind of like, they stay up and they feel like they have a little bit more energy, or else they'll wake up during the night. Those are great times to actually program your mind. So with that, you can actually record yourself. See, sometimes people like say positive attitude, all these different things while they're awake. One of the things you can do is actually listen to things while you're asleep.
Also, here's what there's 2 tips that I totally will give you on this subject, because when you first get up in the morning, the worst thing that you can do is
look at your phone.
Look at your phone and start scrolling through social media, because what's happening is you're getting input.
Yeah.
You're not putting out what you just hopefully your subconscious brain did overnight. So this is what you do before you go to bed. You give yourself instructions. Like if you have a problem, if you have, no matter what it is, with work, relationship, with your health, whatever it is.
Guys. This is good.
So if you have a problem, what you're going to do, and what I do with this is I journal this.
Oh, this is good.
And
I would put it in journal too, because sometimes when I do this, if I don't, then I'm staying up the whole night. I'm like,
no, I have to journal because I won't shut my brain off.
Right.
So if I have a problem, I'm gonna give my subconscious the job to handle it while I'm asleep.
Exactly.
So I will write it down, and I will write it out in detail, and then I'll write what I want the outcome to. Here's what a solution I need, and I'm not saying the answer to the solution because I don't know it. And I'll take this as far as I have a brand new product and I don't know the name. I've been working on the name in my conscious mind with all my team. And here's what the product is made of. Here's what it's supposed to do. And I know this is a kind of, it's not necessarily a silly problem, but it's not a deep problem like a relationship or a health problem.
But it is, because it's stressful. I like
right.
this.
So I can tell you the last 5 or 6 times I've had a new product, and I've done this, I wake up in the morning, and then what I do is I get out my journal and I start journaling. And I'm telling you,
yes,
this is what happens. I have answers to my problems. Like I have answers that I now get to put into action.
This is excellent, you guys.
This is true.
It is.
And if you have not tried this or heard of it, you need to try this because it's powerful.
So here's the thing, you guys. What I'm saying is talking about changing programs, but within you, some of those programs, they're not all bad.
No.
And the cool thing about it is what she's just saying is be able to now use those programs to be able to tap into your subconscious to be able to help you. So those are the 5, okay?
That's good.
Being present, ESR, emotional stress release, energy psychology. Number 3 would be meditation, quieting the mind just for a little bit. Number 4 would be hypnosis or guided meditation, right? And then number 5 is those golden time frames right before you go to bed, right before you wake up. And then what Jane added is that bonus, being able to truly tap in to your subconscious mind and allow them, because when you start doing that, the body starts to recognize, oh, I really do have good programming, and those programs start to shine. And when she starts to practice that technique, it's over and over. It's going to be automatic. Do you hear what she said? It now is becoming more frequent,
Totally.
and it just starts flowing to you. And that's how it should.
Yeah, it's right. That's how we're designed.
That is how we're designed. But most of you will never tap in because you won't take the time and be consistent enough to be able to tap in to the power that you actually have.
Yes. So we challenge you to take these things. Maybe rewatch this video several times as you need it.
Like 3 times at least.
Only because the thing is...
Or 4, because that's her favorite number, and mine's 3.
Okay, now you know her favorite numbers. Mine's
that okay?
4. Totally.
Is that cool? I love 3.
I know, and I have like 4 everywhere.
I know.
Anyway, so let me know how you're doing. Like, give us some feedback, because to me, this is a super powerful 20 minutes. We're a few seconds away from 20 minutes. And to me, this is a powerful 20 minutes.
This is powerful, you guys.
Yeah, this has the ability to shift everything in your life. Your finances, your relationships, your health.
Yeah.
Everything that you want to be good in your life. Yeah. And you have the power. You have the power. It's all within your 37 billion little Dr. Nielsen.
That's right.
Okay, guys. Well,
But
thanks
it's
for
trillion.
tuning in.
It's 37
Oh, trillion. What did
yeah.
I say?
Billion.
Billion. Well, billion's still a lot. How many? Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys got some great info out of this. I know I did. I always do when you're here. So
Thanks so much.
thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.